Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Your Excellency, Mintima Shaiminyev, Your Excellency, Eleonora Mitrofanova, respected members of government, distinguished guests. What an enormous pleasure it is to welcome all of you to this ceremony. We gather today with a group of extraordinary people in an extraordinary place and for an extraordinary purpose. The AKAA Award for Architecture is organized around a series of 3-year cycles, each one culminating in the recognition of our award recipients. Tonight, we celebrate the outcomes of our 14th cycle. This is an extraordinary moment for me as I think back to our decision to launch this program more than 4 decades ago. What led to that decision, you may ask, as many have asked then and since. Just why should the Ismaili Imamate become so deeply involved in the world of professional architecture? The simple answer lies in my conviction that architecture, more than any other art form, has a profound impact on the quality of human life. As it has often been said, we shape our built environment, and then our buildings shape us. This close relationship of architecture to the quality of human experience has a particularly profound resonance in the developing world. I believe that we all have a responsibility to improve the quality of life whenever and wherever that opportunity arises. Our commitment to influencing the quality of architecture, intellectually and materially, grows directly out of our commitment to improving the quality of human life. As you may know, over these 4 decades, we have recognized a vast array of architectural contributions, including over 9,000 nominated projects. But the value of this program goes far beyond recognizing specific projects. The AKAA Architectural Award is not simply a prize, it is a process. This process involves a wide range of conversations all across the world that shape the selection process. The theme of the cycle, which culminates today, is Architecture in Dialogue. This theme, which emerged out of the deliberations of the steering committee and master jury, sees architecture as a robust interchange, one that can embrace a variety of diverse and even divergent perspectives. A true dialogue requires not only that we articulate one perspective, but also that we listen attentively to other perspectives. More than that, it asks us not only to listen to one another, but also to learn from one another. There are several ways in which architecture can blend different perspectives. Let me briefly describe just 4 of them. First of all, we must foster a healthy dialogue among the actual participants in the architectural process. I don't mean only the skilled architects themselves, but also those who collaborate with them: clients, community leaders, public officials, educators, and the builders, designers, and craftsmen who help realize their plans. Our master jury for this cycle paid close attention to this dimension, looking at qualities such as leadership, cooperation, and openness, qualities that help produce creative dialogue. A second dialogue that advances the best in human architecture is an open dialogue between the past and the future. This means more than simply copying the past or merely tacking some ancient arch or minaret or calligraphy onto a new building. On the other hand, it also means more than a heedless modernistic approach, so that it ignores our rich heritage. Our realization more than 40 years ago that architectural practice in Muslim societies had recently been forgetting its own history helped us to shape the nature of this award. The dialogue we seek is one that will blend the inspiration of the past with the demands of the future. The demands are many: environmental, social, technological, and economic, not to mention the challenges of a political polarization. In all of these respects, looking back can help us look forward, and vice versa. A third dialogue that commands architectural attention is the dialogue between nature on the one hand and human creativity on the other. Both the natural world and the world of human capacities are divine gifts, but it is tempting sometimes to embrace one without thinking much about the other. Fourth, and finally, I would emphasize the importance of intercultural dialogue in meeting the architectural opportunities of our time. I have mentioned how this award grew out of a concern with the deterioration, what some of us called the hibernation, of rich Muslim architectural traditions. But honoring one's own historic identity should not imply some sort of narrow isolation. The rich architectural dialogue we seek to foster should include a renewed respect for the rich diversity of Islamic cultures themselves. As a way to exemplify this concern, we recently opened a new Aga Khan Center in London, in which 7 Islamic gardens have been created, reflecting 7 different Muslim traditions. In addition, we should be working to foster a rich dialogue with non-Islamic cultures, including diverse religious traditions. Architecture can lead the way in this effort as we listen to one another and learn from one another across old divides. Pluralism means more than merely tolerating a diversity of influences and ideas. It also means welcoming the learning opportunities that diversity provides, finding ways to honor that which is unique in our individual traditions, as well as those values that connect us to all of humankind. We must think of diversity as a divine gift, a blessing, not a burden. I mentioned earlier that we are meeting today in a special place. Tatarstan has for centuries been a place of exceptional commitment to pluralistic values. The city of Kazan and the larger region have long been renowned for their rich mix of ethnicities and cultures, including the impressive way in which their architectural heritage has been preserved and respected. It is striking to realize that nearby Bolgar, which I visited yesterday, became a Muslim religious center as early as 922, almost 1100 years ago. Through the centuries, the spirit of pluralism in Tatarstan has known times of difficult challenge and times of inspiring renewal. But through everything, a commitment to inclusiveness has persisted. This spirit was encouraged under the pluralist leadership of several of the Muslim khanates that governed the area in the 14th and 15th centuries, and also some later Russian rulers, such as Peter the Great and Catherine the Great. And it has been dramatically evident here in recent years. On my visits to Kazan and in Bolgar, I have seen how committed people can honor the power both of cultural identity and cultural pluralism. It is striking to see how churches and mosques, for example, have been built and preserved right next to one another as powerful symbols of a profound intercultural dialogue. I would hope that we all can help point the rest of the world to the powerful pluralistic model of places like Kazan and Bolgar. The world is in need of such examples. Human challenges seem to intensify at an accelerating pace these days. Climate change, economic and technological inequalities, epidemics, political polarization, population displacements, and the daunting task of helping one another to live together in dignity. I believe deeply in the potential of the architectural world to help inspire and enrich a creative dialogue in all four of the areas I have mentioned. A dialogue between creative architectural partners, a dialogue between past and future, a dialogue between natural reality and human creativity, and a dialogue among diverse cultures. When I first anticipated this visit to Tatarstan, my thoughts went back to other award presentations through these 4 decades. The very first presentations were held in Lahore, in Pakistan. And I remember expressing my hope that night that these awards would not be seen as the end of a story, but rather as a bold beginning, stimulating further discussion, insights, questions, debates, and perhaps even more, some worries, as I put it then, about our architectural future. And I must say today how pleased I am that my hopes I expressed in Lahore 4 decades ago have been fulfilled. The fact that our theme today is built around the word dialogue testifies to our continuing aspirations. My thanks go to all of you for being a part of this extraordinary celebration as we reflect gratefully on both the inspiring gifts of the past and the rich possibilities of the future. Thank you.